just let it happen. Just let it happen on its own. Stop needing to force it. Stop needing to try. Stop needing to effort. Stop needing to put in so much work. Stop needing to make it happen. Stop needing to force it all to be something that it just naturally isn't. You know? What happens when you just accept the moment, the second, the present as it is? What happens when you say, okay, I'm just showing up. I'm just showing up. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I don't have to put on a performance. I don't need to be hard. I let it. I let it, and it's okay, and it's okay, it's okay. My success is not rooted in my efforts and the outcomes from my efforts. My success is just rooted in my decision to believe that I am already a success. I am already a success. I don't need proof. Amen. I don't need proof. Let me see your ears, darling. Are they both pointy? Yeah. Yep. Yep, they're both pointy. I'm an elf. I'm a little fairy. I'm a little fairy. I have dimples. And I have pointies. I got one pointy ear. Okay, period. Welcome to the point. Welcome, pointy girlies. Welcome to the Pointy Girl Club. Welcome to the Pointy Girl Club. She was a fairy, yep. She was a fairy, yep. She was a... I love when people wear their ears or wear their shoulders as their ears. It's so cute. I don't like it for me, but I think it's funny. Rest. Warlock, I love the dimples, elf. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just let it happen, babe. Just let it happen. I think that when you're accustomed, I just put my amen. I think that when you are accustomed to perceiving your reality as tough, hard, challenging, or difficult because you trusted someone else, you typically become someone who puts in a lot of effort, time, and energy into making things happen for yourself. And that's just because you don't trust that it will be okay without your effort, without your input, without your force, without your manipulation. And I think that it's important to recognize that you're being heard all the time, even when you don't say nothing. I don't think you necessarily need to always open your mouth and say, like, I'm affirming this for myself, or I'm channeling this in, or I'm manifesting this, or I'm attracting this, or can I have this, give me this, I need this. Sometimes I think that honestly, it's you just doing, it's just you believing. It's you doing the belief. It's you believing. It's you operating under the belief that, no, I'm good. Because if I got to open my mouth and ask for it and say it, then I don't think I'm getting it unless I say something. But if I'm the one who's giving it to myself, then don't I just got to be here? Like, what if it's easier? What if it's easier? What if it could be easier? What if it could be what if it is so simple? And what if I don't have to say anything? Because what about the girl who's mute? What about the boy who can't talk? Does he not get things because he don't open his mouth? They say a closed mouth don't get fed, but what if you open your mouth and no sound comes out? Do you still get to eat? Or are you just hungry and thirsty? Looking like a fish? You know what I mean? So my question is, what if it's easier than I ever imagined? Come on, divine cosmic purpose. What if it's easier than I ever fucking imagined? And I'm curious. I'm just curious. I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious, what if it's easier than I had imagined? I really want to taste some more. Yeah, yeah. And my thing is this. What if it is? Are you willing to... what if it is? I'm willing to find out. And what if it is? And what if it is? I'm willing to find out. And what if it is? I'm willing to find out. Jackpot. Okay. And what if it is though? I'm willing to find out. Jackpot. Yeah. Taste no, taste is never enough. Yeah. I'm addicted to your love. You're my drug, and I love it. Ow. I really wanna taste some more. I really wanna taste some more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really wanna taste some more. Yeah, yeah. I'm addicted to your love. You're my drug, and I love it. Ow! I really want to taste some more. Yeah, yeah. I'm addicted to your love. You're my drug, and I love it. Ow! Tiffany, this is the third live you're in. But I love that both lives you were in, they were canceled. But it's okay though, because guess what we do over here, Tiffany? We repost the live. Yeah, we repost the lives. We do. And so you could always rewatch them if you miss anything. And maybe want to pop a squat. See what's tea. This particular live, I've given it several names. But yeah, because I'm reposting the lives every day. And I feel like the live we had a second ago, I didn't feel like it needed to be shared. I felt like that was for us. This live feels like it needs to be shared. You know? This live feels like it needs to be shared. But I don't want to force the messages. I feel like the messages are naturally coming out. And they have been just let it happen. And what if it's easier than I've ever imagined? And I'm like, wow, I don't have to always give these big, gigantic speeches. I don't have to always give these massive talks. I want Chipotle today, again, honestly. Somebody want to buy me Chipotle? No, I don't like that question. That didn't feel good. Yes, the answer is yes, honey. The answer is yes. Yes, I want to buy you Chipotle. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I want to buy you Chipotle. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, it's because you bent from the ways. Penny all out the door. She's like, girl, the first live you told a bitch to drag her auntie, and this live, girl, you got your panties out. You don't have no etiquette. She said, girl, you ain't got no etiquette. You don't know how to act in public, girl. She said, girl, I know you at home, but clean it up. She said, I know you working from home, girl, but put on a robe. You know, you still having a meeting. Bitch, like imagine working from home and you just forget because you're comfortable, right? And you got on a little tea because you at work and you having a work meeting. And you're on Zoom, but you end up just standing up and you ain't got on nothing else but just a little tea. But you forget because you're just sitting there chilling. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, hold on. You just stand up and it's just giving. And they're like, but you don't think nothing of it because you're just like, girl, ain't nobody paying attention to me. Like, you know, it's fine. I'm at home. Like, I'm chilling, but I got on a shirt. Like, you know, but I just had that visual in my head. Like, I'm sure it's probably happened at least once, you know, where somebody didn't recognize, like, oh, girl, I ain't got on no pants, no underwear, no nothing. Girl, and I just stood up in the camera, just forgetting that the camera was even on me, you know. Oops, my bad. Well. And they send you a little email, beloved, you got to meet with us after the live. We need to talk. And you're like, okay, what happened? What's going on? And they're like, in the meeting today, you didn't recognize that your camera was on and we saw your everything? I don't understand. Hi, April. And they're like, girl, your dick was out. And it was like, oh my God, you guys, what do you mean? And you're like, oh damn, I didn't even realize. They're like, how did you not realize? Honestly, I had an edible. And I was just in the meeting. I didn't think nothing of it. I just didn't think nothing. I think I want to make changes in my life. I feel like these are moments that are funny. I feel like these are episodes you would see on The Office or on a TV series on a little Netflix. You know what I mean? And they would just blur it out. But I think it would be kind of funny. Like, this would be a cute SNL skit, you know? Just something to think about. Sounds like you need to write a movie script. I would write a really fun movie. I think I would be a really good script writer. I'm a good writer in general. You know, I'm a good writer in general. But I do think that I would write a really good little movie script. And the movie would be about a guy who works from home because there was a pandemic. There was a guy who was a genius at Apple. And the guy who was a genius at Apple, he had worked there for 3 years. He was really good at his job, phenomenal, boom, boom, boom. He was a technician. And this pandemic happened, took the world by storm. And everybody was stuck in a house for 6 months, maybe 8 months. And for the first 6 months, he didn't have to work. He lived his life at the house. Like he would, you know, he would play, or he would drink, he would smoke, he would create, he would play around, he found out about TikTok, and he would just do different things, you know. Have different conversations and interviews because he started going viral. And then 5 months into his pandemic, his job called him and was like, hey, we're going to have you work from home now. And he was like, okay, cool. And so they sent him a computer to start being a technician over the phone. And he hated it. He hated it. It was so much drama, you know. He would unplug the computer whenever he didn't feel like taking a call no more, like midway through the call. You know, there would be calls where he's on the phone with an old lady for 2 hours trying to help her turn on the computer, and he just unplugs his computer. And he's like, oops, the call dropped. And then he would go to the kitchen and pour himself a cocktail, you know? And then 20 minutes later, he would sign back in and text his manager and say, hey, the power in my building shut down. It cut off a client, you know, little things like that. And then after a while, the company was like, they be cutting off the power in your building a lot. And they're like, yeah, short circuit, we have rats. and they always chewing up the cable. It's like he just be making up stuff, you know. And then one day, his manager shows up to their block and finds out. His manager one day goes to his apartment, and his manager is standing on the balcony of his New York apartment and just looking at him work like a creeper. And the manager sees him unplug the computer on a client, and then he sparks up a blunt. And then he texts his manager, hey, power's out again. And the manager goes on the window. And then he looks at the joint and he's like, I'm tripping. Because he lives on the 5th floor. And so, mind you, he's in his panties. He's just in his panties. Nothing else. And so then he looks at the J again, and the manager goes, and he goes to the window, and he's looking at the window like this, you know, trying to get his sight. And the manager goes, open the goddamn window. You see me. And he goes, oh shit. So he opens up the window, and the manager comes in through the fire escape, right? And his manager is a he. And so his manager goes, power out again, huh? And shakes the phone. And he goes, honestly, you caught me. Red-handed. And from there, the manager goes, you got 2 options. And he goes, damn, what are they? He goes, either we fire you and you're done, or, and his manager drops trout. And a meaty one falls out. Boom. And he goes, and he looks at the joint again, and his manager goes, put the down. And he goes, are you, what you want me to do with that? You have 2 options. And he goes, so you want me to put the weed down for another blunt? He goes, ain't this about a bitch? And then he goes, I have always had a little crush on you, and I was a little curious. You know what? Why not? And he goes ahead and he goes to town, right? Next thing you know, the manager and him become they call it a COVID bay. They become COVID bays. So the manager will come over, hang out, and he had a bigger apartment than the manager. So the manager ends up saying, well, since we see each other a couple times a week, I should move in. And he goes, or you could keep your place. And he goes, wait, so you don't want to live with me? And he goes, honestly, I have a girlfriend. And he goes, what? This whole time? What does she think about this? And he goes, she doesn't know. She lives in Dubai with her husband. And he goes, with her husband? Wait, so what is this? And he goes, oh, I'm a scammer. And he was like, what? Oh yeah, me and her, we be scamming her husband for money all the time. So I play the role of her psychic, and she often takes money out of his account to pay for these psychic phone calls. But really, she just pays me, and then I give her a cut. But this is her way of getting money to put on the side, because he doesn't give her an allowance, and she's there against her will because it was an arranged marriage, and she's saving the money so that way she could buy a plane ticket, buy a house out here in New York, because that's my best friend. And we've known each other for years, and then we're going to go take the world by storm and become streamers. And we're going to take over TikTok. We planned it like 4 years ago. And we're just taking our time so that way we can get a mansion because he's stupid rich. He doesn't really know that the money's missing. And he goes, well, now that you told me, I got to get in on it. And then he goes, actually, you can't because, you know how you're my manager? Well, I have cameras in my house and I call them nanny cams. So they caught us in the house together. So technically I could show that to the company and you could get fired. And you didn't know this either, but on my fire escape, I also have a camera because sometimes, you know, the area could be a little shady. So they've caught you climbing up my fire escape. So technically, I'm blackmailing you. You're not getting my money. You're lucky you're getting this good cat. And he goes, wait a minute. So this whole time, blah, 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 blah. He goes, yeah. He goes, well, then why did you even let it get this far? He goes, oh, the meat was large. Ain't never turned down a Polish sausage. He goes, and you also put it down kind of good. So I just figured I'd get out of it what I can. And ironically, I got to keep my job as well. And I didn't have to go through all the hoopla. But I needed to make sure I had leverage. So I rigged this bitch. You thought I was a technician without skills? And he goes, damn, this is crazy. And then it turns out that his best friend who lives in Dubai is actually the sister of the guy who's the manager at the Apple. Turns out. So when he met the sister, they met in New York City. And it turns out his best friend was the sister of him. But him and his sister, the manager and the sister, they stopped talking a long time ago. They fell out crazy long ago because she ended up sleeping with the manager's boyfriend and told the mom that he was gay. And so they're evangelistical. They're Protestants. And so it was a whole thing with the family. So he don't talk to the family no more. It was crazy. It was crazy. And so they found all of this out because finally at the end of the movie, the best friend who lives in Dubai, she makes it to New York City. They buy the house, they move in together, it's all cute. And he invites the manager over because he ends up quitting Apple and starts to manage their business and keeps the grounds on the mansion because he's really good at handiwork stuff and gardening. And so they said, okay, we'll just pay him like a salary, a yearly salary. And so they were like, okay, cool. So when he comes over to meet the best friend and him, you know, at the new place, he goes, Lisa? And she goes, Ronyelle? Next thing you know, he goes, wait, y'all know each other? She goes, bro, that's literally my brother. Remember when I told you that we had to disown one of my brothers because I told my mom he was gay and then da-da-da? And he's like, now it's all making sense. Girl. And that's the end of the movie. Ain't that a fun movie? That's a really good movie. The plot is sickening. That is so much fun. At the end of the movie, you're like, bitch, wait, no, girl, I want to know more. And then after the credits run, they play a little scene like it's the Avengers. At the end, the credits run. And at the end of the scene, what happens is the sister walks down the stairs from the mansion doors, double doors. The sister walks down the stairs to the brother and she goes, so what are we going to do about this? And they both look at the one guy who is connected to both of them. And he looks towards the camera, breaks the fourth wall and goes, I guess we'll have to find out in number 2. And then literally the camera cuts out and then the full credits run. And that lets you know that there's going to be a sequel. Period. That was right off the dome. And he says, oh yeah, I knew this. I had to have a way to keep you intact in case you went rogue on me. Period. See? So many options. I Got Time Productions. Girl, I Got Time Productions. Amen. Oh yeah, I knew this. I just wanted to bring the family together. Because then in the second movie, you found out he was a psychic. And so his ancestors and spirit guides came to him in a dream, told him the sister and the COVID bay were related. He did some technical searching on the dark web, found out, thank you, Tiffany. And so he ended up finding this information out that they were related, and his spirit guides were like, bring them together again. Because when he brought them together in the second sequel, in the second movie, you end up finding out not only that he's a psychic, but he has like telekinetic powers, right? And so when he brought the brother and the sister back together, he ended up doing a ritual with them to help them heal from their traumas and all those things and da 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 da. And it turns out they were this really powerful Ibeji, like, pairing. And so the brother and sister actually got gifts. They got spiritual gifts. So he helps them awaken. And then the second movie is about their spiritual journey. And they end up turning the house, the mansion, they end up turning it into a sanctuary, like an oasis. And then there's a third movie that comes out about the oasis, the spiritual oasis, where they build a coven. And then it turns out that the sister disowns the whole family, who disowned the brother, because she finds out that they're warlocks and witches, and they've been harvesting her magic, which is why she never knew that she was a witch. It's crazy. Who want to fund it? Amen. What series is this? I just made it up. Off the top of my head, girl. I just made it up, girl. I don't know what it is. Amen. I don't know what it is, girl. I'm just making up stuff. I just be making up stuff. I really want to taste more. You're my dream. You really want to taste more. Okay, the TikTok live replays are up. Okay, genius. I want to watch. Me too. The Snake in the Apple. Ooh. Okay. Tay Tay. We got to give you credit. Tay Tay, we got to give you credit. Tay Tay, that's the name. The Snake in the Apple. Because remember, it takes place in New York City. The Snake in the Apple. Bitch! Ah! And the sister's name is Eve. The sister's name is Eve. The brother's name is Adam. We got to change their name. So the sister's name is Eve. The brother's name is Adam. And what is his name? The guy who the guy who is connected to them both. What's his name? His name is I was gonna say Luciferian, but Lucas, Cyrus. Okay, I like these. Because it has to be something that is gonna be either Lucifer or like Satan. And we could do I like Lucas, and I was thinking Lucius as well, but it gave, you know, Empire, and I was like, Ooh. Okay, I like Cain. I like Cain as his name. Cain is a good name. I like Cain. Cain sounds cute. I feel like Cain is cute because then at the end of the third movie, when they start the coven, at the end of the third movie, the sister, Eve, she starts dating a guy, and she finally brings him around. She then elopes to go get married, brings the husband that she elopes with back to the Coventry, to the mansion and the sanctuary oasis. And she goes, hey guys, guess what? I got married. This is my new husband. His name is Abel. And it's Cain's brother. Bitch! And she didn't even know he had a brother this whole time. Because he never talks about his brother, girl. Because in his mind, he died. Because they had a big ass fight. Bitch, this motherfucking show is biblical, girl. Oh my God. Legendary. Legendary. Can I be in this show? How do I audition? Auditionings are happening at the end of 2026. So as long as you can make it through a universal year 1, you can audition. Oh yeah, I'm really good at twists. I'm really good at a plot story. I'm so good at I'm really good at creating like plot twisty type stories that like twirl and twirl and twirl and twirl and twirl and twirl and twirl. So yeah, we already have 4 movies ready to go. Because in the fourth movie starts off literally in the past, talking about the history of Cain and Abel, because they're twin brothers. They're twin brothers. Hi Phoenix, hey boo. They're twin brothers. And so the fourth movie literally starts off, like even the credits in the beginning of the movie, it's inside of the womb of the mother. And it's these 2 fetuses that are like kind of battling already. And we end up finding out in the fourth movie that Cain and Abel's family, they are witches and warlocks. But then also Eve and Adam's family, they are witches and warlocks. And it all turns out that literally 4 generations back, there was this big ass feud. And the feud was between the Eve and Adams and the Cain and Abels. What's their last names? What's their names? They gotta have last names. Ooh, what if one of the twins ended up undergrown because they were fighting in the womb? Ooh, I like that. I like that. Come on, Montauk and Capulet. Period. Sullivan and Salem. Okay. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. You're so welcome, Phoenix. I'm so glad. We need some really good surnames. I feel like Sullivan and Salem's going in the right direction. I feel like it's going in the right direction. Amen, Phoenix. Oh my God. I could feel it in my feet. I feel like the feud is spiritual and it began way before they were physically born. See, Tiffany, you're taking me, girl. Now you're taking me there. Now, exactly. Because this series is like Fast and the Furious. We can literally have more and more and more and more and more and more. It's like Harry Potter. But the girls don't even realize this is a book series too. So it's a book series, and it's a book series, and it's a movie series too. Lord of the Rings, yes. Because in the fifth movie, we end up finding out that, okay, wait, no. In the fourth movie, Eve and Cain, they end up beefing because he's like, you can't date my brother. Like, y'all gotta break up. And she goes, no, I'm in love with him. I'm not doing it. And he goes, I'm not living in this house with y'all. This is not happening. And she goes, well, I let you be with my brother. And she goes, yeah, but he's not a murderer. You know what I mean? My brother tried to kill me, you know, whatever, whoever, like whatever. And so, is your list open? I know I had one yesterday, but it's been brought to my awareness to ask you something. Yeah, my list is open, boo. I got you. And, oh my God. And so the sister ends up leaving the coven, and her and Eve and Abel, they end up starting their own coven. And so they end up literally having, like, you know, students that they teach how to do magic. And it turns out the students they start beefing. So then in the fifth movie, it's talking about the war between the Cains and Abels. Like, it's a war between this coven and that. Like, this is, oh my God, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. What is this show you're talking about? Okay, so we're thinking about the mother favors the underdeveloped one, Abel. Cain, she feels he needs her attention, which makes, we already have to fight to fight now. We gotta share that, especially for the session. Phoenix, okay. Cain, oh, which makes Cain horrible. The mother favors the underdeveloped one, Abel, because she feels he needs her attention, which makes Cain horrible. Period. Okay, there we go. Because Cain, yes. And we find out that actually Abel was the one who tried to kill Cain. And Abel was one who really tried to kill Cain because he knew that he could get away with it because of his difference. Because of his difference. And we find out that the whole time, the family, we find out that the family was spreading a rumor. The mother was spreading a rumor that Abel tried to kill Cain, that Cain tried to kill Abel because he was jealous. But that was because she wanted to protect her son, Abel, because she felt like he, you know, could do no wrong. And she was like, he didn't mean to do it. Like, girl, bitch, this is so much fun. Okay, so Phoenix, we're talking about a movie series and a book series that is just coming off of the dome. We're just making it up, like off the top of our head. We're just making it up. Just making it up. Today's lesson is, what if it could be easier than we thought? Today's lesson is, my baby just drank my coffee. That's fun. I used to drink my granny's Hypnotic. It's an I Got Time production. We're talking about an I Got Time production. What did we call the movie again? What did we call the series? A Snake in the Apple. Bitch, a snake in the apple. Thank you, Tiffany. A snake in the apple. Wow. It's my birthday. Oh, it's my birthday. It's my birthday again. We've made it another year around the globe. Bless me. Bless. Oh my God, you guys. And then the movie series A Snake in the Apple. The movie is a snake. It's a snake, but the center here is an apple. So it's literally a snake head biting the apple. And it's a ring. So all the fandoms of the movie A Snake in the Apple, they all get on the website to buy the ring. And so each ring, there's 4 different rings. There's a ring for like Cain, and there's a ring for like Cain and Adam's coven. There's a ring for Eve and Abel's coven. And the difference in the ring is the eye of the apple, or the eyes of the snake that's eating the apple, have different colored gemstones. So it could be an emerald stone, a sapphire stone, a ruby stone, a garnet stone, because there's a ring for Eve's, yeah, oh my God, or the color of the apple. Ooh, I like the color of the apple too. Okay, that could be cute. I got you, Jamie. Merchandise, rings for each character. Ooh, okay, I like that. Rings for each character. Yeah, that's better. I like that. I like that better. You have, yeah, each person has a different ring. There's 4 different rings for Cain, for Abel, for Eve, and for Adam. There it is. Cain, Abel, Eve, and Adam, they all have their own ring. I like that. Red, green, yellow, and orange. So there's 4 colors. There's red, green, yellow, and orange. And then there's a multicolored ring, right? The multicolored ring is for those who, they just support the franchise. They just support the whole franchise. They just support the franchise. They're like, bitch, I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for everybody. Like, I want them to all come together and just have like one big old like plantation. But we won't call it a plantation, because you know. Okay, Jamie, what we talking about today, boo? Jamie. Why do we ask stuff like that? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when, you know, when you call people, you be like, Jamie, and it's like, you could be like, Jamie, like, you know, but like, why do we say it like that? Jamie. I don't know. There's something about the way I said that. I was about to say not plan ration. Wait, what? Hold on. Wait, I may take a minute to type out what I need to ask and may have to put it in multiple comments, so bear with me. Oh, Jamie, why don't you send me a DM? Send me a TikTok direct message. And then put in the comments when you're done sending the DM to me. And then I'll just go to, I have another phone. So I could just go on this phone to look at your message. And then I could read it from here. And then it'll be easier than having to put it in all the comments. Because black vernacular is tonal. Okay, amen. I was about to say, not plan ration child. Not plan ration child. Wait, what do you mean, plantation? Wait, I don't think I get it. I'm a little slow right now. I feel slow. I feel slow. I'm missing it. I was like, but we're not gonna call it a plantation. Not plan. A not plan ration. A not plantation. Oh, call it a family compound. I like a family compound. I like family compound. Although family compound give a little bit of like a prison. A little bit. It feels a little bit like a prison. Can we call it a chateau? Is it possible to call it a chateau? I heard Santana say it the other day. That don't feel right either, though. Unity ring. Support of the... I really want to taste some more. Yeah, yeah. Coconut Beach. I'ma let it go to waste, and I'ma pick up that blade. I want all of it, all of it, all of it, all the time. Coven Compound Chateau, not Plantation, child. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna call it. Cause I like Coven, but when they have the big old house, when it's all four of them together, what do we call it? Cause I don't like...
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. I have a theme song for
Period. That was cute. That was actually super cute. Yeah, okay. I've done it. Oh no, it's okay, boo. Okay, let me look. There it is. Okay. Period. Okay. Okay. Okay, period. Okay, Jamie, I got you, boo. Chateau, defined as a grand French manor or stately residence, evolved from medieval fortress, so could be. Okay, but it takes place in New York City, or it takes place in New York. So then what would we call it if it's in New York? But it would be like, what if we called it the manor? It would be a manor. The manor. Ah, that's it. That's it, Tiffany. It's a manor. We called it the manor. It's the manor. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, Jamie, we about to get into it. That's it. It's the manor. It has to be the manor. I love that. Okay, spirit guides, thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for this moment. Help me help Jamie navigate this plane, this region, this lane, this element. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's talk, Jamie. Let's talk. Okay, Jamie, screen record because I don't know what's gonna come out. I don't know what's gonna come out. We're gonna let it be easy, and we're gonna let it be easy. The message today, Jamie, is what if it's easier than you imagined, right? So Jamie, if it's easier than you imagined, right? Let's say, Jamie, it's easier than you imagined. That's where I'm coming from today. What if it's easier than you imagined? And I pulled one card for you already, which is the 3 of Cups, right? And I'm noticing right here, this hand, right? And so I'm seeing you've already, Jamie, started the footwork for the freedom. Ironically, Jamie, you don't need me because you actually already carved the path first by creating the spiritual work as a lane that you committed to before even the topic at hand we're discussing, right? So you already, Jamie, have created the pathway to freedom. Now, Jamie, adding on this next layer, the topic we're talking about, what it's doing, Jamie, is deepening the path. You are opening up the lane even more. Adding another lane or adding another aisle into your department store. Adding another section into the story. You are adding a lane onto your freeway. You're expanding the freeway. But I'm hearing, Jamie, you're already going in that direction. And what may have started off as one lane has now broken into two. Amen. What you thought was only going to make room for you to be able to do this has now made room for you to do both of them. And now now, Jamie, I'm hearing as well, don't think that they never knew, Jamie. Don't think they never knew. Don't think they never knew, Jamie, because what if they always did? Because there was something, Jamie, within them that had curiosities. And Jamie, what you are is an awakening to the curiosity. Because Jamie, what if he has been scamming you the whole time, making you believe stuff about him, the father, Jamie, that actually isn't true? So he's been keeping secrets this whole time as well. And what are those secrets? I don't know. I'm not allowed to say. I'm not allowed to even ask. But what happens when he has a past also? Even if it was just curiosities, one drunken night. Even if it was just a mistake that time in the penthouse at the party. So I'm hearing, Jamie, what happens when you find out that your parents have secrets? What happens when you find out that they were kids at one point too, and they did things? What happens, Jamie, when you find out? Because, Jamie, I want you to use your intuition here. Yep, look at this. Look at this, Jamie, because I'm hearing sometimes the squirrel who is mad that you have found your nut is only upset because he has been trying to protect the nuts that he has had. Exactly, Tiffany. One will only shame another when they are holding on to shame themselves and trying to add on to the collective, so that way they don't have to feel so alone in their shame. Well, if I shame my daughter, then I won't have to carry my shame on my own, because now she believes she also should feel ashamed. And so now we are all walking around feeling shameful, because you would have never felt shame over yourself if he didn't project onto you a reason to feel ashamed at all about anything. He could have made you feel ashamed about having an extra cookie. And he is all you have left, even though he is. Okay. So let me say this to you, Jamie, as well. There's a reason, Jamie, that you have already begun cutting out so many people. I'm going to leave you with this, Jamie. What happens, Jamie, when you realize the path you have carved that started off as just one lane of freedom was actually not your freedom highway, but your freedom freeway? What's the difference? The amount of lanes available. This freeway you're creating has multiple lanes available. And it turns out, Jamie, there's a lot more liberation you get to experience. Because although you high-key have been a daddy's girl, that means you've been living life for your father. I don't think he's more understanding than you think. I do feel that you're about to liberate yourself and realize you've already been creating a life without the tethers to them. Amen. Jamie, I'm going to put it to you like this. Yourself has yet to be able to receive a particular type of love from your dad. You also have not received a type of love that comes with acceptance from your father. Your father's love has come with dominion over you, okay? And that's what I'm seeing here. Your father's love has come with dominion. Amen. And I'm seeing here, Jamie, that's not the kind of love you're asking for from anybody. But it's the kind of love that you're accepting and receiving because it's what you grew up with. It's what you've known. So you believed that love is dominion. And it's not. Ownership is dominion. Amen. There we go. And I feel, Jamie, you don't want to be owned, which is why you've taken a spiritual path. You want to be liberated. You've wanted to be liberated. And so it's conditional. No one's ever loved you correctly apart from your best friend. Now, I'm going to add on to this, though, Jamie. You have also loved you correctly. You have been loving you correctly. How so? Because you started off with a family that you chose consciously before you jumped into a body. And you said that family is going to give me the tools I need to become. That family is going to give me the tools I need and the paint required to write, transcribe, and draw the story that I'm going to live over the span of these amounts of years. So you got to understand, Jamie, as a consciousness, you weren't trying to choose an easy lifestyle that wasn't going to give you no material. That's a boring ass life. What do I mean by that? You got to always be in somebody else's business. Always watching somebody else's story, never really living your own, or living your own as one who watches everybody else's, but never being the star. Why? Because you don't have nothing. You don't have nothing. Your story doesn't give. There's no depth to you. You want it to have depth. You're a spiritual healer. You're a spiritual girly. Like, you're in that particular lane. So you got to understand, Jamie, you're looking at right now and you're looking at the past as if it's forever. That's not your whole life. That's just pieces and parts, girl. And so you got to understand your whole life ain't even done yet because you're breathing and talking to me. So why not change today? Again, how we changed yesterday, we're going to change again. And ironically, you've met me. And we've been, I know this is your first rodeo with me, but I'm a girl who helps people transform rapidly. I'm legendary for that. I'm known to help girls quantum leap. Quite literally, my YouTube is called Quantum Healing with Honey. So, ironically, you've met a quantum healer, a shamanic high priestess who does quantum healing. Now, Jamie, what's happening here is the moment you decide to cut your father off, what you've done is taken your toolbox from his garage and you've said, I'm leaving and I'm going to go build my own house. He's taught you how to rebuild his world, but you've joined a spiritual practice of your own volition. And now you're about to create your own home with the guidance of your spirit guides. So this is something completely new. But because Jamie has had this amount of past and experience, you now get to utilize all of this to write books, to write poetry, to make movies, to make stories, to sing, to make songs, to have podcasts and all of those things. You may not have relatives to pull from, or they don't want me to say it that way. You have family left. You're just not choosing those relatives. You're going to go be with your family, which starts with you. You are the seed. So now it's time for you to focus on watering yourself so you can branch out as Jamie, amen, and go be how the rest of us are and have your chosen family, amen. I'm leaving out certain parts of the story because that's your business, and the room doesn't need to know all of what we're talking about until you're ready to clue people in on your own business and whatever that business will be, amen. Thank you. So understand, Jamie, right now, in the same way that I'm giving this reading to you and I'm being very cryptic, I'm being cryptic as well as a part of the reading because your story has yet to unfold in a certain manner. Amen. Pun intended, language chosen. Your story has yet to unfold in a certain manner because you're still writing it. Hence why, again, you've met me, not you've met me, but you're meeting this version of me today, helping you quantum leap. Because I'm not ever going to write your story. I'm going to remind you that you're already holding the pen. And I'm just going to say, girl, you write it. I'll tell you what to put on the paper, but you write it. You know, that's your homework. Amen. So, Jamie, yes to cutting out the father. Yes to cutting out the father. But will I be okay? I could never answer that question because you're the deciding factor. Because what are you going to do? Who are you going to be? How are you going to be? That will determine whether or not you're okay or not. Amen. You being okay, I could see you being okay, yes. But I could see you not being okay. It depends on what you choose. So what will you choose? I need another one. I need another one, girl. So give yourself, Jamie, give yourself light because you can. And understand, Jamie, you're already free. You're already free. So why not keep freeing yourself? You've already opened up a pathway. You've already opened up a pathway. Okay, thank you, Spirit. You've already opened up a pathway, Jamie, for a life of sweetness. Why not? Why not have it? Why not have it? You've already opened up, hence me even opening up another Sprite. I was like, oh, I need another one. I need another one. I literally said, I need another one. And I love that Tiffany said water. And I was like, okay. But even in this moment, this message I'm picking up is, because I was like, well, why didn't I choose water? And then myself said, because you've opened up a pathway to sweetness. And I was like, oh. And they said, tell her, you've opened up a path of sweetness. Why not take it? Especially if you've worked so hard for that. I worked hard for this. I did. And I worked hard for this. I did. And myself says, have it. But understand that having it doesn't mean you can't also have this too. But have what you desire first. Hi, Katie. But have what you desire first. And then ask yourself, do you still need this afterwards? But have what you have the sweetness because you want it. Do you want this still? And if you do, then have it. But this, Jamie, what this means is, let me break it down, Jamie. This means go have your path of sweetness. Go join this path of, this is who I am, this is how I'm showing up, this is who I'm going to be, and I'm cutting all you bitches out. If you treat me like this, if you show up like this, if you talk like this, if you think like this, I'm cutting you bitches out. But if y'all want to switch and change and be like this for yourselves, because I don't want you doing it for me, you're not going to make me the reason why, I want y'all to choose that on your own, then you can join my life. But if not, I have standards. And so, I want you to understand, Jamie, that again, your life isn't over. Your life is happening right now. So this rhetoric, most of my life, all my life, my whole life, that gotta go. That has to literally go. It has to go in the trash with the same rhetoric of I need. Amen. It's time to let that rhetoric go because it's literally not true. And so understand that there is an infinite nature to you. You are infinite, right? You are infinite. You are infinite. And I really want you to see yourself as a person, as a consciousness that is expanding, contracting, evolving, changing, transmorphing. And so, Jamie, in your spiritual practice, even in your lane, I feel like I gotta come from a mentor space there. About who you teach, who will you mentor, who will you guide? How will you unlock others? And I feel like in this moment, Jamie, I'm helping you unlock you. And there's this energy, Jamie, that is saying to me, in love, Jamie, your past was difficult because you listened to everybody outside of you tell you what to do. How even in this live right now, I'm talking to you, but there's also conversation happening in the comments. There's a whole bunch of talk. Everybody's talking. Everybody's all talking at once. And sometimes we think that's helpful. Everybody, like we all talking, but the thing is, sometimes, Jamie, you gotta shut us up. Sometimes you gotta tell all of us, I need y'all to be quiet. I do the same thing with my spirit guides. Sometimes I'm like, shh, everybody be quiet. Everybody stop talking. And I just sit in silence. And I just be in my body as a human being. Because I remember, as spiritual as we all are, as connected as we all are, if the spiritual practice that you have is causing you dismay in your physical body and fucking with your nervous system, then all you're doing is punishing yourself and calling your spiritual practice liberation when it's really indoctrination in another shade, another color, and another texture. If you're punishing yourself internally by having a shitty nervous system because you're having to become something so in tune, so aware, so blah, 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 you're just traumatizing yourself in another genre. And it's not necessary. And I think that sometimes we cause too much destruction on the inside of us, thinking it's healing us, but it's just hurting us and harming us more. And it's not necessary. When simplified, all of this shit simplified, no shade, your daddy's on some bullshit, walk away. Why? Because you grown. Ain't no reason for you to pretend like he the only person that exists on the planet when there are billions and trillions of humans that exist. And of course, you know you're going to be okay. That doesn't even make any sense. The idea you're not going to be okay because your daddy's not around. Where the fuck in that reality does that even make any sense? When you already know there's a whole bunch of people. If you know that your father, your family, and all them hold you back, why would you stay over there? That don't make no sense. That's like stepping in gum and being like, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck. Bitch, you have on shoes. Take the shoes off. But then I'm going to walk on bare concrete. Or you just going to be stuck there in your shoe, girl. Which one is better? You know what I mean? And so then you got to realize if he's also not contributing to anything, then he really still don't got no pull. So then it just becomes, girl, the decision has been made a long time ago. You grown. At what point you going to step in your truth and then just live your life? Because if you're not going to do that, girl, then what was the point of coming to earth at all anyway? What was the point of coming here? And then you start to be like, damn, now I understand so many humans on the planet why they're like, I don't want to live no more. I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to do those things. I fucking get it. Because you're not living at all. There is no life happening within you. There's just following. There's just doing what everybody else is doing. And so I want you to understand, Jamie, you got to listen to you. As much as I'm talking, I want you to listen to you. I want you to hear you. And I want you to understand, Jamie, you have clung to a lot of other people in order to make it to the next. You have found yourself in so many different positions, Jamie, where you said, I can't make it forward unless I have somebody there. And coming from a girl who has been so afraid of not making it forward because I didn't think anybody would be there for me, I just went through an experience like last night where I was literally at a club, standing outside, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh shit, I need to catch an Uber. And I was like, oh my God, the money's not in my account for the Uber. I didn't have enough. And then I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And I called 2 of my friends and I said, wait. I said, Spirit, am I gonna walk in my heels back home? And my spirit said, girl, no, use your other phone. And I pulled out my other phone and called the Uber. And on my business account, I was able to just get the Uber and pay them later. Perfect. There I am getting my Uber ride home. Done. And myself said, you kept thinking if I don't have nobody around to answer the phone, if there's nobody to show up for me when I need help, then I'm shit out of luck. That's a lie. Look around you, girl. There's people everywhere, but they don't know me. That's because you haven't said hello. That's because you haven't told them who you are. That's because you haven't opened your mouth. Get to know people. This is why you're going to open up and be honest and be real, because your family doesn't even know who you are. You don't know who you are because you haven't been you yet in the presence of people. Don't nobody know who you are because who you are hasn't existed yet. You still have been following and living for everybody else. So the life that you've been trying to hold on to needs to go. You need to die, quite literally. You need to have your own ego death so that way you can step into a brand new suit and start something different in your body. But if you're always waiting on there being somebody else there to have your back, you're never going to do what you came here to do, which was free yourself from the belief that you need people. You don't need anything. You already are. You have it already. There's people there already to support you who don't need anything from you, don't want anything from you, and don't take from you at all. They don't bring you no heaviness, no weight that makes you feel down. They're like, oh, girl, just do your thing. Girl, just do your thing. Girl, just do your thing. Girl, go bless somebody else. I don't know. I don't need nothing from you. I don't want nothing from you. There's nothing you can give me that I need. If you give me something right now, it will be extra that I don't need, which will make it heavy and dense for me. I don't need that in my life. I'm just here to bless you. Somebody bless me. I'm passing the blessing on. Go. And so Jamie, my recommendation to you is to trust yourself and to go free yourself. Because in this moment, I'm picking up the issue. The issue is, am I gonna be okay if I don't have nobody there? Are you nobody? Because I'm pretty sure you're there. And if you're there, you have someone. But there's a belief that you're believing that you need somebody, which is why you're clinging on to people who are either gone or never were around. Because your dad, no matter how much he was there, he never showed you his true self. So he never was around. You don't really know that man. You don't know who your father was hanging out with his boys when nobody's there. You don't know who your father was behind the curtain. The man was closed off. He never really gave you his whole spectrum of emotions. He gave you facets of himself. So you've been attached to a fantasy. Exactly. So there's so much about your dad that that's not even a sir. That's not even like you don't know that man first name. It's that type of tea. It gives, you don't know his person. Like you don't know him outside of just that little father role. And it's a little father role. But Jamie, there's so much to your life that he doesn't even know about. You don't like him. You don't need him. If you needed him, he'd be here. He would literally be here, right where you are, doing what you need him to do. Being a complement to your life. But he's not a complement in the way that you're trying to have him be around. He's a nuisance. He's in the way. Move him out the way. You're grown now. You're no longer in the kiddie pool. You're in the big girl sandbox. You're in the grown girl sandbox. So realize you don't always need a whole bunch of sugar in order to spruce your energy up. You're thirsty. What you need is some hydration. You don't need sugar. You need hydration. Let the sweetness be you. Let the sweetness be you. That's me switching as I'm switching beverages. In this moment, Jamie, everybody else that you're looking forward to help you move forward, that's sweetness. That's beautiful. But you're the water. You're what's actually going to hydrate you. You're what's actually going to quench your thirst. Sprite may say a thirst quencher, but that's funny because 3 seconds after I have the Sprite, bitch, I want more Sprite. My thirst don't feel quenched. I feel thirsty again. Oh, I'm thirsty. I need water. I don't need a Sprite. Now, but again, I get to have my cake and I get to eat it too. That's why I made the cake. Amen. So it's not a bad thing that I have the Sprite. It's not a bad thing that we have the sugar. It's not a bad thing that we have people. It's just that it's not what we need. It's what we desire. And our desires, our desires are fulfilled. But there's more. There is more. So Jamie, I want you to go have more. But the question is, what do you want? What do you want? And are you willing to let yourself guide you to have it? To have it as an experience daily, habitually, consistently? And if so, then go do your thing. But you got to listen to you. Because it could be easier than you thought. But there's only one way to go find out. And my last message is, why take the path of spirituality? Or why take your spiritual path and practice if you're not going to listen to you? When it counts, when it matters, when it's hard. It's very easy to play spiritual and play faithful when you ain't taking no risks and when you ain't being challenged. It's very easy to say, I'm confident when ain't nobody brushing up against your confidence, making you have to stand in it. It's very easy to say, I take up space, when you always at home and you don't go nowhere. It's very telling to say you take up space when you're in the middle of a packed ass club. And the question becomes, you gonna keep letting these motherfuckers bump into you? Or are you gonna spread your arms and take up some goddamn space? But I'm tall, but I got long limbs, but I'm bigger, but I'm a little heavier. I don't give a fuck. Take up space. If you need to buy two, I bought 2 seats. No, your child can't sit in this seat. Well, why did you buy? I have the money to afford 2 seats. Clearly, you don't have the money to afford whatever you and your family need. That's not my problem. But I bought 2 seats because my ass needs 2 seats. I want a seat for each one of my motherfucking cheeks. And I also don't want nobody sitting next to me. So I bought the whole row. Now what? You just thought I was supposed to buy a first class ticket. I don't want no first class ticket. But you don't even need all of that area. I didn't need anything. I want it. And I get to have what I want. You're not used to that life. That has nothing to do with me. And I'm here being a reminder that you get to have what you want. Go bless yourself. But you wanting my wantings is called coveting. The answer is no. Unless you want to pay me. Because now I'm bidding this row to the highest bidder. You're scamming us. No, I'm a businesswoman. I'm a businesswoman. I get to have what I want. You want what I have? You're going to pay me. And you're going to pay me what I say you're going to pay me. And if I don't accept it, you don't get what I have. But understand, I'm the boss now. You want what I have. But I paid for this. And they can't give it to you. They don't own these seats no more. I bought them. So if they give them to you, I now own this airline. So, what will it be? Amen. What will the fuck it be? In this moment, Jamie, this is your life. And now you get to decide, what will it be? You never have to give up on yourself. You never have to roll over on yourself. The choice is yours. And look at that. Right there. The choice is yours, babe. What will it be? Are you going to roll over and just say, okay, well, I'm going to settle with this? Or are you going to say, I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for in life. I know what I desire. I'm showing up for that. I'm going to show up for what I desire. And not, I'm going to show up just to sit to the... No, baby. I'm showing up for what I desire. I already have my needs met. I don't need anything. Never did. I've always been provided for and provisioned. Amen. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? At this point, what you gonna do? You don't let everybody else tell you what to do this long. And now you ironically came to someone who told you, you know it's your decision, right? You know it's your decision, right? So when you know it's your decision, who are you living for? Who are you doing this for? Who is this for? Who is all of this for? Amen. Who is all of this for? Remember, that man was here before you were. He's lived a good chunk of his life without you even being considered. That man lived at least 15 to 20 years. I don't know when him and your mama had you, but that man lived at least a good 15 years before you were even thought of or fathomed. He's been living his life for him, boo. What you gonna do with yours, girl? You don't need his permission. Decide. Decide. Decide for Jamie. Because I'm sure Jamie is tired. I'm sure Jamie is exhausted with everybody being the deciding factor for her. We're just not doing that anymore. Amen. Jamie, I think you know what to do from here. Your energy is yours always. My energy is mine always. We close with unconditional love for the whole self. And so it is, Ashe and amen, period, and bust down. May you enjoy your decisions. May you enjoy your decisions. And thank you to everybody else in the room too for contributing to that message. I love you too, girl. Go have fun. Go have fun. And know that going to have fun doesn't mean laughing, hee hee ha ha. Sometimes going to go have fun is just being honest and being like, you know what? I don't feel the greatest, but at least I don't feel like a liar. I don't feel the greatest, but at least I don't feel controlled. I don't feel the greatest, but at least I feel real. Amen. And thank you for what you did pay, you know. Now go pay you. Now go pay you, girl. Now go pay you with what you have. Amen. Amen, honey. Woo. That was a message, girl. You had me tapped in. Now go pay you. Talk about it. Amen. Yeah. I hope it didn't wear you out. Oh no. 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 That's what I have learned along my journey. It's not about me being wore out. It's about me being spruced up. So for me, as a reader, as a channeler, as a healer, as a diviner, as a shaman, if something wears me out, which I will get worn out eventually, I'm supposed to be, do I know how to charge back up? So when I'm done being worn out, do I know how to spruce me back up? And do I know how to spruce me back up now? And so I will say my biggest advice, or I will say for me, I don't worry about getting worn out or drained. I make sure that I concern myself with, do I know how to pick me up? Because if I know how to pick me up, then I never have to be worried about falling. I never have to be worried about being drained. This way, can't nobody ever fucking curse me to hell. Why? Because I know how to crawl out of Tartarus. I'm good at it. So send me where you may. I always know how to come home. I always know how to make it home. I always know how to get home. I know how to walk 1,000 miles in 7-inch stilettos and make it home. I know how to take off my shoes and go barefoot to make it home. I know how to get home. And because of that, nothing can ever end me. Nothing can ever take me out. Because I understand this, but I also understand all of that. So I'm good. Because the moment I realize, oh, I'm tired, what do? I eat. I eat me. I eat me. I am my source. The same way my body uses energy for my cells, for my organs, for my blood, for my functionality, I know how to tap into me and be that which fuels me again. I know how to survive off no food. I know how to survive off no water. I know how to do readings for 10 hours, no food, no drinks, no nothing. Will I be tired afterwards? Yeah, but I also know how to sit down and do nothing and go right into solitude. Go right into hermit. Go right into insulation. Because I don't isolate myself from myself. I don't cut me off from me. I am infinite, so there's always an overflowing well of my own self to fuel me again, which is why my spiritual practice, Jamie, I think somebody asked me this yesterday. They said, what kind of shaman are you, or what type of shamanism do you practice, or what does your shamanism practice consist of? And I let them know it's mental for me. And my mind is infinite. My consciousness is infinite. I could be in a coma and I'm still awake consciously, and I'm able to do everything, which is why I'm also a lucid dreamer. I know how to pull myself up and out of anything. You cannot get me. I'm too fast, quite literally. I am the code. It's like I am existence. You can't end me because I am that which is. And so because I don't cut me off from myself, I don't believe that I need external things to give me the up. No, I'll do it on my own. But if I do have access to those things, I will most certainly use them to serve myself, because it makes my journey easier. But I know how to be easy. I also know how to just be in flow. But nothing is ever hard, because hard is not the opposite of easy. Amen. I've already softened. And because I've softened, I now have access to an infinite well of water, because I'm not walking around here with glaciers. I've melted all of my caps. Amen. And that's on being a Capricorn. Birthday in 6 days, in case anybody wants to send me TikTok gifts or wants to send me cash money. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, virtual tip jar, or Amazon wish list. Thank you. Bust down. You can send me $20 a day until my birthday. But yes, I don't cut myself off from me. I've learned how to, thank you, Tiffany. I do, thank you, yes. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Oh, that feels nice. Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, shit. Yeah. You gotta know how to pick you up. You gotta know how to pick you up. It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Yeah, girl, don't let it be difficult. Don't let it be hard if it don't have to be. Don't let it be hard if it don't have to be. Because you guys, it's not about what you get out of it. It's about who you become. Did you show up? Did you show up? Did you show up? Because there's moments in our life where we ask ourselves, are you ready for love? And if you're ready for love, then that means you start receiving your love unconditionally today. If you are ready for love, then you are receiving your own love unconditionally starting now. But if you say you're ready for love and you start waiting for somebody else to give it to you before you start receiving, then you just told a lie. And I thought we were being honest. Amen. Yeah. Amen. The moment you realize, damn, you know what? I am, like Tiffany said, I am her. I am consistent. I do show up every day for myself. I am giving to myself every day. I am choosing myself every day. Then baby, you're winning. You're winning. Keep winning. Keep winning. Because it's not what you get out of it. It's who you are. Who you are. Remember, as good as food tastes, you're going to come back to another earth. You're going to experience another physical something after this one. Why? Because you want to. This is why this ain't your first rodeo. So all of that, I'm never coming to earth again. Okay, you won't come to this one, but you'll go to somewhere else. Why? Because you like this shit. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here right now. Come on, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I also love chicken dinner. I also love chicken dinner. Amen. Wow. So much better. I'm for you. So much better. I'm for you. Boom, 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 boom. I love you too, Jamie. Have a lovely evening, darling. Have a lovely evening, darling. Wow. Very grateful. Okay. Amen. Okay. You know what? Okay. Okay. Ugh. Wow. Ashe. Yeah. Damn. Good job, honey. Good motherfucking job, honey. I'm proud of you, girl. You better stay showing up. Listening to your spirit. You better stay showing up. Listening to your motherfucking spirit. Oh yeah, girl. I started my day off with sunlight. And I've been nourished today, and I will continue to nourish me. We handled this yesterday. We don't deprive ourselves. We don't deprive ourselves. We show up. We show up. Thank you, honey. Yeah. Amen. There we go, because that's what I want to hear. Oh, that's what I want to hear. Amen. Oh, fun. Okay. Amen. Me too. Thank you, honey. Amen. Thank you, honey, for showing up for me. Ooh. Amen. Thank you, honey, for showing up for me. Bitch. Exactly. Hell yeah. Thank you, honey, for showing up for me. Thank you, honey, for showing up for me. Take that in. Amen. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. Thank you. Yes. Amen. Thank you. Yes. There we go. Receptive. Receptive. That's it. 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 Receive it. Ooh. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Good job. Good job. There we go. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, honey. Thank you. Yeah. There we go. 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 Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. All right, you guys, it's time to go. Collective, your energy is yours always. My energy is mine always. And we close with unconditional love for the whole self. And so it is, Ashe and amen. Period. And bust down. Yeah. Okay. Peace, guys.